So I had a story, and then about a day ago, I switched it to a new one. And I think I just did a run through about an hour ago, so here we go. Uh, Basically, I guess it's important to tell you that about a year ago I moved, and I got a property that has a good, decent amount of woods in the backyard. And I'd never had that. My experience with the woods was always because my parents took us places. And never really, because they were in and around our house, we were in the suburbs. And I felt like getting these woods was a gift that I needed to share with my family, and I needed to have events there that people could enjoy these woods and not just me. There was too much for me to enjoy. I had to share it. And this past winter, I decided that I wanted to build ski slopes in the woods. I wanted to make trails. It required taking down branches, raking a lot, and so much so that basically I would be up in the woods in a cold winter day and see my neighbors, they'd come out. They're just sitting there. They let their dog out to bark and smoking a cigarette, and I can just imagine them just thinking, like, what am I doing up in these woods? Like, how many leaves are there to move? Like, why? Like, I wonder if they're thinking, like, do I not realize that, like, in the woods is where leaves go, and I'm moving them? So we get to about December, and I'm still really sold on this idea. Like, I want there to be ski slopes in my backyard. And January happens. I'm still out there every Saturday. February, same deal. I'm doing something with a leaf blower, raking leaves, something. And we get to March, and we have like a 70-degree day in York, right? And that's it. Hope is gone. This isn't going to happen. And not soon thereafter, is anybody... It might be your guilty pleasure, and you might not want to admit that you do it, but you do S&S storm chasing. I do not like to admit that I love that site, but I am always on it. And like this year, like that's where I was at. And I think it's around mid-March is when they started saying that a storm was coming again, right? Oh, yes. Like, this is my moment, right? Like, I went out to Lowe's. The shovels are now $5 a piece. I got 2. And I brought them home. Like, they were ready to go. And it snowed that Monday night, or into the Monday night, and woke up Monday and shoveled. I went out into the yard, into the woods, and made ramps and made banks, and till I basically couldn't move anymore. And I had this moment out there in the yard, probably 4 hours in. I had this pain like just shoot up my back, and I felt like, well, this is it. I finally got the snow, but 4 hours of shoveling, great. I made a path to the trail, awesome. But I do this thing when I'm trying to do something that I don't want to do. I just scream. I just like yell. I'm like, no, not today. And I just keep shoveling, just grunting the whole way through. And 10 hours pass, and I'm still shoveling. And went to sleep that night, had the next day, worked from home again, and shoveled again, 12 hours in. And my family comes over that night, and we had a blast. Like, the yard was amazing, and everybody was having fun. I was still shoveling, but they were coming down the slope. And I found it to be amazing. So I tell you about that pain because after those 2 days of shoveling, I felt nothing. Like, I had no knee pain, I had no back pain. My shoulders felt pretty decent. And I just want to say that I think that when you give to Mother Nature, she gives back.